and said that we're going to defend. This will defend. So yes, we are definitely nationalists, but we're also white people. But doesn't mean we're white nationalists, for God's sake. Welcome back. And for all of you out there, don't forget to subscribe and hit like. It really helps because we're a small channel and we're conservative. And so a lot of times YouTube doesn't like to promote our videos. So it really helps if you like and subscribe. And we really appreciate you watching. Let's go ahead and dive right into our first topic. Have you heard about Echelon Insights poll they did recently?
Heard of the Echelon Front.
Oh, yeah. Well, a little bit different. Anyway, Echelon Insights is part of the Institute of Politics at Harvard University. So it's not some just run-of-the-mill organization who publishes some stuff. That might be who they are, but they at least have the gravitas of being from an Ivy League school. A little bit, at least, right?
I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Like, growing up as a kid, like, you heard Ivy League schools, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially now. They've really dishonored themselves.
Yeah. It's almost like, yeah, that's a rabbit hole.
Right, a huge one. Well, anyway, all I bring it out to say is that there is some... Okay, we can probably automatically discard that, but we can't automatically discard a Harvard poll that's been certified and peer reviewed. So we at least have maybe we can throw it out later because it sucks, but just on the basis of who studied it and their methodology, we gotta I don't think we can disregard it. And it has some interesting things to say. This is the top concerns of Democrats, and the first one is Donald Trump supporters. Man, I don't even know what to say about that.
So they're concerned about 80 million Americans?
Yeah, right around. But see, they didn't... It's funny, with all these things, all these little concerns they have, it's all important about how you define it. Because if you go to the second one, a white nationalist, all right, the idea of white nationalism, any nationalism preceded by a race, is bad news. So the ideology, yes, white nationalist ideology is terrible. But the amount of people... Do you actually know any white nationalists? People that think that the United States should be an ethno-state, but only for the white man? Like, I don't think I've ever run into a dude like that. Have you? No, and granted, I haven't always lived in Texas in the South, but I have been for the last 10, 15 years.
So back when I was in rock and roll, there were some colorful individuals who lacked pigment, for lack of better terms, with swastika tattoos and lightning bolt tattoos, and they were affiliated with a certain organization I won't throw out there. But outside of that, no, I've never known anybody who was a true white nationalist. Yeah, right. Me either. I think they are out there, but I'm talking like there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, not maybe 10,000 tops. We're not talking hundreds. We're not talking millions. But definitely not talking tens of millions. 327 million.
And I think this is the big problem we face today with the hyperpolarization of the media is that if you ask, that's basically the same question to Democrats, I think. I think they think that if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you're a white nationalist. And so...
Well, I'll go a step further. If you're voting GOP and your candidate was Trump and you voted for Trump, you're supporting Trump, so therefore deductive reasoning says you're a Trump supporting white nationalist.
Yeah,
so
right.
Is that grouping all GOP in the same bucket?
Right.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
And I think also they have a whole bunch, the Democrats and libs love to do this, leftists love to do this. They put a lot of semantic overload on things, like white nationalists. Like you say, are you a nationalist? Yeah, heck yeah, I love America. I want America and the American way of life, a way of life that has brought more prosperity to more people than any other country in the history of the world. Right? This has been an amazing story of success and blessing America. So, do I love America? Heck yeah, I love America. I love our Constitution. So I'm definitely a nationalist, but I'm also a white guy. So you're a white, nationalist, and they just forget that comma. So I guess I'm a white nationalist now because I'm a nationalist and I'm a white guy, which is stupid because a white nationalist means that what I said first, that you want an ethno state up for the white man, which is insane. Ridiculous. We're just ridiculous. In my band, I got 2 brown guys, right? And I love them. In my band, these are my good friends, right? I mean, I do not want a white-only place.
I'm not white. I'm I'm tan.
If I was white, I'd be dead. Someone was saying on one of my videos, it says, ancient Egyptians were melanated. I was like, we're all melanated, dude.
There's melanin in everyone's.
I know, right? If I did, so I get a piece of paper. You know, like here's something white. If I were that color, I'd be dead, bro.
See, I'm a Mitchell. You're a McCall. Your roots go back to Ireland. Mine go back to Scotland. I'm not even, like, my family heritage isn't from America. We came over just like anybody else. Well, not just like anybody else, but, you know, we came over in pursuit of what the
Better
greatness
life.
of this country for a better life. Yeah.
So you love America too.
Heck yeah, I love
That's
America.
why my parents. That's why
I love America. I love people by choice. Okay. I love America. I love the values of the American identity, nationalism, the national anthem, the American flag. There is a real identity there.
Yeah.
And it transcends the color of your skin, my skin.
Definitely. I espouse and believe in the ideals set forth in the Declaration of Independence, you know, and codified in the Constitution. I believe these with all my heart to the point that, well, I don't know about you. Wait a minute. Are you a veteran?
A veteran?
As a veteran.
A veteran of what? Oh, wait, I have the hat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing
there
the
it is.
hat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I am too. So we both put it on the line and said that we're going to defend. This will defend. You know, so yes, we are definitely nationalists, but we're also white people. But doesn't mean we're white nationalists, for God's sakes.
Go on record and say, like, when I joined the military, I wasn't like this diehard patriot, right?
Okay.
I needed money. I needed cash for college, man.
Oh, damn.
I was broke. And in that process, I became a patriot.
Yeah, but how old were you?
I was young. I was 20.
Yeah, okay. I was a little bit older private, and I'll tell you what, man. I believed what Colin Powell said when he went in front of Congress. I believed George Bush, and I thought, and I supported going into combat against Afghanistan and Iraq. And how are you going to be an able-bodied adult male of age and support other people going to war and not do it your damn self?
Right.
So, and also my life was complete. I was a loser.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, like, I'm a loser. The last 3 years of my life
But
are going to be the same as the next 3 years.
in your defense, like that was bold. Like, most people aren't going to say, "God dang, we're at war. I'm going to go in." Like, or I want to sign up. You know, I was in 3 years before 9/11, and it was on that day that patriotism filled my heart. Like, it made sense.
Yeah, like, oh, that's what all that hoorah horse shit was.
Right. Being in
Now
the military.
I understand.
But pre 9/11, it was like, okay, I can get used to this. This is a job, no big deal, right? Got it. No, boom. Oh God.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. When I joined, we were at war, and if my recruiter's like, you only go into combat, right? Like,
dude, I don't know that I could have made that same decision.
Well, you didn't have to because you were already in, son.
I didn't have a choice, and I was like,
Right.
God dang, look what we're doing now.
You're lucky you didn't get stop loss, man. Lots of my guys did you?
12 months.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so I did a 4-year enlistment and 5-year served 5 years active duty.
Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Well, you know,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
What it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, right. Well, see, and that's the thing, man. So, and then the next one, systemic racism. I mean, where? See, I don't think the people who talked about these things knows what they're talking about. Like, they think that systemic racism is just racism, and so, I mean, what rule is in place that is not? They just voted down the one in California that was going to get rid of affirmative action.
Can we break this down? What does systemic mean? So, so we'll look it up. When I think of systemic, I think of something that is designed to be biased against one thing or another. For example, affirmative action. I think that's systemically racist. When you give preference to a certain race based nothing more than the color of one's skin, that to me is the raw definition of racism.
So when they say systemic racism, it's fundamental to a predominant social, economic, or political practice. They're saying that the very root, so at a very core of our government, and placed and codified in laws and in systemic implies government, like control. It's the system.
System.
Yeah,
right.
so it's
if
ingrained in the system.
Right. So if you're a black man who wants to join the police force, that's been deemed systemically racist. So then by default, in association, you are now a black racist against blacks.
Yeah, good. try to.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'm
right?
not saying that.
I mean, that's what.
But I see they don't know what they're talking about though. Like systemic racism would be that there's that at the very core of it, what's the very foundation. So 1619 nonsense is racism, and so so systemic racism is at the core of it. So everything that promulgates forth from it is racist as well.
So if you look at the Constitution, and I'm not a constitutionalist, I don't know it back and front, left and right. Forgive me.
What?
But the pursuit, we're all created equal, right, by our Creator. So the Constitution,
That's the
God-given rights.
Declaration of Independence.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
DUI.
Right, you didn't bring me on for my fact check.
It's your good looks. That's why I have you on
Thank
camera. It's not a podcast.
But so we're created equal by our Creator. Our Creator has given us God-given rights. Government is in place to protect those rights. And I don't know anywhere in that Constitution or the preamble or the Declaration of Independence or anywhere in between that says, except if you're black, you don't have the same opportunities. Or brown or white, you're given preference. So I think that we've created this narrative, and it's easier to be the victim than it is to be the victor. And on the left, it is popular to be the victim.
Well, yeah, just when I look at these concerns, I don't. Donald Trump supporters, we're not the enemy, guys. And white nationalism is such a small. Yes, but black nationalism is evil too. But these ideologies are so small. Systemic racism, I don't see it. Where is it? I mean, where are the laws that are still keeping people down, like Jim Crow laws? Where are they? And if you find one, then I'm with you. Let's go take them down. But they're not there. So automatically you have three things that are the top concern that aren't real.
They're
not even real.
And I will say, affirmative action is racist.
Yeah.
Racist by design.
That is systemic racism.
That is exactly
that is systemic racism. Right? the number one concern on the Republicans should be lack of common sense. But gun violence, and gun violence is a problem, but not in the Republican areas, not in the red areas. Guess where gun violence is a problem? Those deep blue areas, brother.
That's exactly
yeah.
right. That's exactly.
Americans lacking health coverage. I mean,
so what happens when you defund the police and then you take guns out of the hands of lawful citizens to possess them? Who's there to protect those citizens in those inner cities?
Yeah, the problem is these gun violence things. The gun violence concern is predominantly because of them. If everyone knew you were armed, you ain't gonna have a problem. But I know for sure that in those deep blue areas, when people aren't allowed to protect themselves, they're being preyed upon. Whereas in the rural areas, like in the suburbs, where everyone's armed to the teeth, they have less of that nonsense. And people want to blame systemic racism and white nationalism for that, and it's just not the case, man. So, but we go down this list, domestic terrorism. So the problem is again, they think if you're a Trump supporter, you are a domestic terrorist. Yeah, so all these things are euphemisms that have been played out. They've been gaslighting their people for so long that now they actually believe that Trump supporters, let's pretend that all these things are real. Let's pretend all of them are real, okay? All of them except, obviously, Trump supporters. Let's say that white nationalism and systemic racism is real. How are you going to put them above Donald Trump supporters? If white nationalism was really a concern, why isn't that number one? Why isn't systemic racism number one? Police brutality number one? They are so TDS-ified that they can't see past their hate to see what's really going on. And what's really going on is we are not the enemy. And if these things are, if you actually have a real concern for these other things, why ain't they above that, man? Damn.
Right. And this goes along with the narratives about re-education camps for Trump supporters. It's frightening, similar to.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a video.
Where in the history of the world have we seen this before?
All over the place, man.
And what happens?
It's not good. It doesn't end well. Freedom does end up winning, but only because there are people like us who come in and help do the winning. WW1, WW2. Know what I mean? Shoot. Damn. But you're right, man. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity.